opinions are like casseroles. So with that whole thing is that last part could be a debate part because we love to debate for some fucking reason.
We love
so
it.
we can use
Retarded.
our listeners who said, Super Mario Sunshine is better all around than Super Mario 64.
And we go, you little shit.
Yeah, exactly.
and they can even vote not just on like what
Whenever
game
you're
is
moving on
better.
the microphone at the bottom. I was just
yeah, my
explaining
bad.
this real quick. Yeah, it's kind of like jostling around.
Oh, that's my
like if
bad. I
it was
didn't
like
even know.
that, it's kind of like making a little static
Yeah,
sound.
that's my bad.
It's all good.
It wasn't all good. It was not all good.
I was gonna say,
It's not bad, though.
and
It's
not
just-
only that would be really good for the fans because they can actually debate themselves
With
what
the Twitter,
game,
yeah.
what game they feel is better, but also who is better at portraying the game
Yes.
they represented. Like if I were to represent,
What game you guys talking about tonight?
well, I got a good one that we all know.
2K.
Talking about it.
No, Listen,
we
we got
all
a good.
picking one,
No,
or are we
I can
discussing
pick.
one?
If we all discuss one, I have an idea. I have an idea. If we all
Side.
discuss one, we need to discuss it to people who have never played it, right? I feel like, and I know these three have not, and I know we have. We can discuss Persona to them. I know for a fact that we have all played that
Dude, I
game.
could
But
talk
that could
about
go to-
entire
yeah, we can
podcast.
go-
Okay. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
There you go. All right.
Persona
So,
3 through
let's talk about
5 or a
Persona.
specific one?
3
Let's
through
talk about
5.
4.
We can do.
I can talk about 1 and 2.
Oh, boy.
We'll do that.
Let's talk
I
about
can only
the-
do 3 and 5. 4 is my least, but like I understand the whole premise of
Talk
4.
about one of them and not talk about the rest of them.
No,
Talk
because
about Persona.
they're all
Just
different
Persona,
Just
though.
Persona.
Persona in general.
We'll talk about Persona in general.
But would 3
we
be
can do
different
that.
than 1? Would 3 be different from 1?
Yes.
Yes,
but
they are all
we can
different.
discuss that
they
in a way
are
that won't
all
be too
different
long.
games.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
See,
that could be a
questions like
topic as
that
well.
would keep
See?
it.
Devil's
going.
advocate here. That's what I'm here for. There
Would
you go.
keep
Thank
it
you.
going.
Thank you, Ash.
That is what I love.
I
about
really
it.
am appreciating your input. It
sorry.
is keeping
You
me
are
on
helping
track.
a lot. You are a good manager. You are a good manager.
Now,
You are the
next-
manager.
Oh, no. We're getting sidetracked. Point is,
Dude, I haven't played a Pokemon in like 15 years, dude.
Shut the fuck up. so
That's facts.
now let's get started. Remember, Persona first. A new segment. I guess we'll call it out at some random point. Pokemon.
Okay.
We never did that.
So how are we gonna introduce ourselves?
Hello, my name is Waylon, and I'm the Sonic fan. I do nothing else but play Sonic. I like to go fast.
First, figure out the intro later.
Yeah.
Alright, let's
So
go.
Do it now.
Because that is going to be the hardest thing for us to get through. Because we're gonna want the
We can-
perfect thing to say.
We
That's
can always re-record the intro. We can always
Yeah, we can always
Yeah.
just put it in there.
we can
that's
always
facts.
toss this episode out. Like, that's another thing too.
No, it's good.
No, whatever. Yeah, no, fuck you. Anyways, when people talk, they always wonder about different colors. Everyone always has a choice of their own. They always say what kind of favorite colors they like. Do you like blue? Do you like red? Do you like yellow? Those are primary colors. There's no other game that I know personally. There's no other game that I personally don't know where colors are a big thing in my eyes, but Persona.
Oh,
The whole
yeah, for
Persona
sure.
series is pretty. With those colors and like how those games represented, I've never met a single fan who all agree on what game is the best because everyone has their own variant of how they appreciate.
That's what
Not
I,
only that, but
that's what I want to
quite
talk about.
literally, are they not just the colors? You think Persona 5, you think red. You think Persona 4, you think yellow. You think Persona 3, you think blue. 2, red. 1, sky blue.
So
That's right, because every single one has the colors on the box, right?
Yeah.
To keep them color coded.
So the best way to start it would be, if we're talking about a franchise, we have to state our favorite one.
I think we're already starting.
We're starting.
We
that was me
See, I don't
starting.
that
even
was
know.
us
That was
starting.
me
See, I
starting.
don't even know.
That's why I said. That's why I randomly cut
formally
everyone
start
off and I
it,
said
will
it.
say now,
Earth to Matt.
I am definitely biased. Persona is my favorite series.
Okay.
Well, Mega 10, but Persona.
Okay.
I could talk about Persona 4 forever and why I think it's the best. But
nerd.
shut up.
I don't have any
Point
more
is-
water, Waylon. I'm sorry.
Because when discussing Persona, I am going to probably rant about me also discussing Shin Megami Tensei and how.
But we're talking about Persona.
We're talking about
I know.
Persona right now.
Same
Fuck.
series though, technically.
Go
No.
to sleep.
Shut up.
Go to sleep.
The point is.
See, he fucking
I'm
left.
not. The point
You
is.
made him leave the room. That's our manager.
Jamie, pull up the clip. So, I mean, what can be said about Persona? Persona is like one of the weirdest series ever because it was
Absolutely.
like so niche and now it's so mainstream. And because it's mainstream now, it's like I'm glad to see it. I've been a Persona fan since I was a kid, but now that Persona 5 is like mainstream, I only see shit from that series and the eyes of Persona 5. I only will see things about Persona 5. I will only hear people say they think Persona 5 music is the best.
Now I have a question about that.
What?
Is that annoying?
I can't.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Now I have a question about that. Do you agree? So do you think that Persona 5 is a bad game?
I don't think it's a bad game. I'm not saying it in an elitist way. I'm not saying like, oh, Persona 5 is definitely not the best. You got all these other ones. It's not like an elitist thing. It's just I hate that people are saying Persona 5 is the best, and also not acknowledging other games that exist.
I have to disagree with that because you got to realize a lot of the
That
games,
worked at
like
Best
even
Buy.
Persona 4, Persona 4 has the most, not even 5. Persona 4 has the most representation out of the whole series. You know
Yeah.
that they have so many games, they have so much
Persona
things.
5?
No, Persona 4.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, no. The only thing that I appreciate the most out of all, like, and this is coming from someone who loves Persona 3. You know that I love.
I know,
Persona
and
3.
I love Persona 4. So.
I love Persona 3. You love Persona 4. And maybe it's, and like sometimes when people talk, it may be a feeling of jealousy, you know, that Persona 5.
No, it is jealousy. I wish it was Persona 4 that got the recognition, but the problem is, it's hold on. The problem is, whenever I'm discussing Persona with somebody, they go, "Oh, they're Joker." It's like, no, motherfucker.
He's the main character of 5.
Shut up. Yeah, he is, but he is. But Persona 4 did so good with its other spin-off games because that game was fucking huge in Japan. That is the last big JRPG on the PS2, and that game blew up in Japan. We will never know that. We didn't get another version of that game until Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita, and even then the sales weren't that good. That's the #1 game on the PS Vita for a
But it
console
got
that already failed. So when people discuss Persona 5, they're discussing Persona 5. Shut up, bitch! The problem with Persona 5 is I don't think it's a bad game. I played it and I loved it, and it took me an entire school semester to beat it, and that made it personally feel interconnected to my life. It's great. But when people discuss Persona, it has that problem. No, when people discuss Shin Megami Tensei, the only thing they say is Persona 5. That is ridiculous.
All
And
right.
for them, I'll explain the reason why I say
So,
that. Hold
you're
on, let me
right,
explain it to
everyone's
them.
wrong.
No, I'm not. I never said I'm right or wrong about anything. Point is, Shin Megami Tensei is a Japanese series, and they made a spin-off game called Persona. Persona got more popular than Shin Megami Tensei. It is a cooler idea, but it was pretty niche still. Really big in Japan, not that big here. Persona 3 and 4 are really big here. 2 and 1 are still Shin Megami Tensei games.
I was going to say, just for the record, to clear everything up for everyone, Persona is a game where you follow the life of a teenage student going through school, and the whole premise of the game is to live a student life while also traveling into another world which we'll get into. And the biggest thing about the other world is that it produces it produces RPG elements that are now it's becoming more apparent, but at the time it was extremely unique to what the series and what the game was.
Yeah, that wasn't done before.
Yeah, that wasn't done before. And even with Persona, each game actually, it's a new iteration, and each new iteration takes the cake by far with what they do.
Yeah.
Like a Persona 3's whole gimmick with the Dark Hour, Persona 4's gimmick, Persona 1's gimmick with the Frozen, with the Blizzard.
Yeah.
Persona 2's gimmick with the Diary of Truth or whatever. I
Yeah.
forgot what it was called. Persona 3's gimmick with the Night Hour. There was a special hour. Persona
Shadow
4's
World.
gimmick was the Shadow World.
Five
No, it's the
What do you mean
TV
by-
world, because the Shadow World applies to everything. Because there are
Okay.
shadows,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
And Persona 5 had, not only did you have a shadow or another shadow world, you had to live the difference between that game or each game. Persona 3, you lived the college life as a student who had no background, and you went to an all-girls dorm. Persona 4, you go to the country to go, sit out and live your student life there with your uncle, right?
Me and Matt had to swap microphones at this point, so you might notice a little change in the high quality audio you're experiencing.
Isn't that your uncle in Persona 4?
Huh? Yeah,
Persona
you
4,
live
that's your
with
uncle, yeah. And Persona 5, which is completely opposite of Persona 4, you go into a major city. But the thing about you going to that major city is that you become, you are on probation instead of an actual student. And one of the things I like about that is that this is not to go off track, y'all can go ahead and take over after this, but in Persona 5, specifically Royal, I appreciate the Royal remake, because each game has a remake, like you said, Persona 4
Not
Gold.
a remake.
Huh?
Well, it's just
It's not-
they add a little more.
They add a little more.
DLC.
It's not even DLC, no,
It's
because in
DLC.
Persona 5, and I can tell you this because I remember I just played Persona 5 Royal again.
Yeah.
Royal, the biggest thing between base 5 and Royal is that in Royal they enforce. I have noticed this. They enforce you to be on probation. In Persona 5, you can do a lot more shit in the first few sections of the game, the first days. But in Persona 5 Royal, they're like, no, you're literally on probation. They won't let you do anything but progress story. They won't let you grind. They won't let you.
The additions are just what they should have done originally.
Pretty much.
Hey, there
That's,
we go.
that's what happens
Okay,
to
I think we're
Golden.
straight. I think
That's why. That's why I said I don't.
We're back in
that's-
business.
Yeah. Oh, but that's what I
Sorry.
was saying. I don't believe it's welcome back.
Another point,
Yeah,
another
yeah.
point,
We're
another point,
this
another point.
microphone is back in business, so we're working. What were you talking about earlier about the
Yeah, I
gimmicks?
wasn't able to listen to any of that.
Okay,
because I
yeah,
had to
I'll
deal with
repeat
that.
it. No, I was saying that's why I like cleared it up. I'm not like disagreeing with like how the game presentation is, but I do disagree of it being DLC. I believe it is a remake of the game's story and how the game functions because Persona 4 is a gold enhanced. FES was enhanced. Like it were a lot of things that it doesn't feel like it's major, but a lot of things change the game, and they have those versions of the game have good replayability as well as the base game.
So, let me clarify. These games are turn-based games. So that means it's like Pokemon, but you have a 4-man team, which happens. The greatest part about Persona,
Or like Final Fantasy.
like Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Final
exactly.
Fantasy is the best way I can relate it to. So the best part about Persona was the social aspect of it. That's what made it fresh and new when Persona 3 came
Like
out.
you can talk to like it goes by ranks. My friendship with this person is at a 5 out of 10. That's exactly how it is, verbatim. And like with girls, you could literally date the girls if you get them to a 10. So it's like dating sim, social aspect. Like it's following in the daytime. You are being social with these people, and they do have great writing. These people feel real. Is why I like it. They feel like real fucking people. And at night, you just so happen to save the fucking world with these same people. Like that's the entire point of it. Because the games before, like this actual series is nothing like that at all. Persona is about making friends. Shin Megami Tensei, like the game, not the spinoff. Persona's a spinoff. Those games are just about killing God. They're just about getting demons
Same.
on your side and killing God or killing the devil or whatever.
Isn't that the big twist in all of them?
No, I mean they're pretty.
No.
5 is pretty straightforward. About
Persona
it. It's
3
just- it says you have the power to kill God. Will you do it? And it's like, I don't know. Will I?
Yeah, so
fuck it.
I got into Persona 5 because a friend of ours,
Sorry.
he did not shut the fuck up about it. We were in guitar class every single day for like 2 months before it came out. Every single day, that motherfucker would sit down and go, Persona 5 comes out in 32 days.
You're welcome.
And then the next day, 31. Next day, 30.
That's my fault.
I was so annoyed that I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. So I don't buy games at release. I haven't done it since Mirror's Edge Catalyst, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Because that was just the most disappointing game I've ever played. So I didn't do it. So Persona 5, just to shut this man up, I bought Persona 5 full price day of release.
To be fair, to understand where he was coming from was because I was not shutting the fuck up about it to him. Because I waited for this game for 7 years. I played Persona 4 back in... What year did Persona 5 originally come out? 2017?
2017.
I played Persona 4
16.
originally in 2009. I played that game in 2009, and I've always wanted more. I got spin-offs for 4, and 4 is my favorite. Again, I explained why Persona 5 meant a lot to me is because it lasted me a school semester, so it felt very interpersonal to my life. 4 did the same thing at a different point in my life, and that's why I love it. I got spin-offs for it. I exhausted it, and there was nothing else for it anymore. I'll go back and play it all the time, but there's not new stuff in there for me anymore. So 5 was a big deal for me.
I'm a big 3 man.
I didn't shut up. I know. Me too,
I'm
but
a big 4 man. I'm on his side with 4.
I knew you'd join my side.
Let's talk about
Why 4 though?
4. So that's gonna segue into music, right? So
Dude, the music in
what-
Persona is banging, bro.
What
It's
defines
legit
Persona?
bangers.
Yeah, what defines Persona for me
You
is
can put that
its
shit on the
distinct
playlist and fuck to it, man.
soundtrack.
Best soundtrack. in
Persona
any game.
3 was made in 2005.
No way,
What kind
man.
of music do you think was in it? In 2005, what kind of music was
What
the
was
most
big?
popular?
Oh,
I don't know.
Hip hop,
Okay.
right?
Fuck,
it
dude.
was like that older, like hip hop, early 2000s
like
hip hop.
scratchy boom bap almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then 2009, Persona 4 came out.
2009,
What was
2010.
2009?
I know, but let's just
Well,
group it in the 2010
Yeah.
period.
So what was big in 2009, 2010, if you can remember?
Pop and idol music in
Idol
Japan.
music.
Idol music in Japan pop in America.
But in the
We had
West, it
Katy
was
Perry.
shit like Britney Spears,
It was-
like
So-
fucking
Katy Perry,
Carrie,
Britney,
yeah,
yeah.
The
Carrie
reason
Underwood
why
and shit.
Persona 4's soundtrack is so good, though, is because that entire game follows a murder mystery where you're trying to solve a murder while you're listening to the lyrics of a song that is the most upbeat shit ever, and I just want to fucking dance.
Exactly.
It's so funny how well it works, And then you do get some bops in there that are a little more hard, where it just like gets your blood boiling. Like, oh man, like that's great. Most
Boss
of the time, though,
theme.
you
That
just wanna
boss theme
dance.
goes fucking crazy.
That boss theme goes so
Yeah,
hard.
that shit.
Everything in
so
that
great.
game goes so
Fucking
hard.
bro.
And then 5 was released in 2016. I want to say,
I
yeah,
think it was
2016.
2016.
I would say because I was a sophomore.
I was a
You were a junior. So
And that was when
it
swing
came out,
music was getting popular
swing
again.
music
Yep,
was getting
jazz.
popular. It is jazz.
It's a jazz soundtrack.
It is jazz. It is like during the
16 it was jazz.
It's jazzy.
Yeah.
Weirdly
Jazz was
enough,
like
yeah.
starting to get like it was starting to come back. That was
Yeah.
the
Well, that
thing.
was around the same time that vinyls were starting to get bigger
Exactly.
too. So
Yeah.
a lot of older records.
It
were
has a
coming
very
back.
Retro music was
Yeah,
getting
it has a
big
very
again.
retro
You guys
feel
passed
to
me
it.
my Reds. It's back over there.
So my biggest problem with
Thank you,
5
man. I
though
appreciate you
doesn't
very much,
come
bro.
from
I
the
love you.
music. I think some of the music in there is better than the series has ever been. Like some of the best. That singer is amazing.
No,
But
My biggest problem with it, and Matt has the same problem, that game's too fucking angsty.
Are we talking about base 5 or 5?
Both of them.
Both.
Let's
It
talk
doesn't
about
matter.
both of them because
Okay, let's
Royal has the best bangers. I could even talk
Yeah,
about
Royal has
Strikers.
amazing music.
I think Strikers is the best way to experience Persona. Personally,
Right, for someone new. And
not even new.
I know what he's trying to say because we talked about this before, and
Yeah.
it definitely makes sense.
but
But there's
that
just
is
too much angst in
completely
Persona 5.
Exactly.
okay, definition of angst.
Okay, I played 4, where I am with these friends where everyone has their own personal problems, but like those personal problems, they get over them in the course of the game. Every single character has a shadow, and you fight the shadow as a boss. When you fight these shadows, they say their deepest, darkest like thing about them that they will never tell anyone.
On TV.
For instance, on TV, it's broadcasted to everyone. That's how you know who the next victim's going to be because it's on TV.
Yeah, because that's the person that gets murdered.
Yeah.
So basically, at midnight, there's a specific time where this show comes on. It was not midnight. That's not a spoiler, bro.
That's someone.
No, it's not a
someone
spoiler.
shows on
It happens at the very
TV.
beginning of the
Yeah.
game. Point is,
That's the
it'll
entire
show
point.
who's
How
going
do
to
you
be
guys want to go
murdered.
through spoilers throughout this shit? Should
Well,
we talk
if
about
it's like
spoilers?
a genuine,
spoiler.
if it's like a genuine huge spoiler, we're not going to.
No,
say
it's
it.
not like a
But
huge
for
spoiler. No,
future,
okay,
should we
for-
talk about spoilers?
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, of course, but I was saying
Oh,
not
we're
for
going
future
to.
shit. I was saying not for future
I was gonna
shit.
say
I'm not
fuck
saying-
all the
I'm
viewers,
not-
bro. Spoil everything.
I was gonna
yeah.
say it's not
Han
really a
Solo
spoiler what
dies.
I was saying, but like you know the whole premise of like the whole premise of going into that game, you know nothing that's about to happen. So when you see the first victim, like you don't think that will happen. Remember? Do you remember who
It's
the first?
in the opening cinematic.
Point is,
It's in the
it's
opening.
a murder mystery, and
not for Golden,
it's in the opening cinematic.
not for Golden.
Golden doesn't have it. in the
Golden
opening.
doesn't have it.
That's only in the base game.
And that's
for
what
it.
I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
I get what
Golden
you're
came to
trying
the
say.
west. Golden came to the west. That's
Point
what I
is-
was trying to experience.
Point
explain.
is,
Not-
it's a murder mystery, and the reason why like I like that game so much, they're not fucking angsty. They are normal kids that have their own personal problems, as like any of us would. Probably don't broadcast to everyone, but that's why that game is so unsettling at times because they broadcast their things to everyone. For instance, my favorite fucking character in that game is a macho man dude that will beat the shit out of anyone if they look at him wrong. He's fucking gay, but he will never tell anyone that. And if someone calls him gay, he'll beat the shit out of him. So his entire thing on TV shows up, and it's a dude acting flamboyant as fuck. And you're like, wow, that's a gay dude. Oh, that's Kanji is his name. And
But the
then,
crazy
like,
part is
his
he isn't
whole
even
thing-
gay.
I know.
Like,
that,
but
we're not
yeah,
talking about
we'll
that.
get to
He
that.
wrote it out. So like you get to
Debatable.
his boss fight, and then
Debatable.
he's like, "I'm not
Was
gay,"
homosexually
and the shadow
to-
gets stronger. It becomes the boss fight.
I'll say it later.
You beat the boss, bang your ass theme, and then Kanji goes, "I never wanted to admit it on that part of me because I have a single mother." Like all these personal things are coming out, and it makes it so good. Like the angst makes sense then.
Yeah.
Persona 5, oh, I was framed in a case, and the entire theme, I'm not even joking, every single character says the same thing. Fuck adults. We kids are going to take over because an adult fucked them over. Oh, this one gave me a bad grade. Or this one broke my leg. Or this one arrested me.
Hold up.
No,
Hold up.
good reason to be upset, but it's just the entire theme, and even by the end of it, is fuck adults because adults are sheep. That's
no.
all it says.
That's not what it is.
That's not.
I don't think Persona 5 is the best one, but Persona 5 had these terrible fucking adults, right? So kids do not have power with the adults at all. That's the issue with it because kids can recognize those things, but we are powerless. Even though you see those awful things. The very first target is a teacher exploiting his position and sexually assaulting students and threatening to expel them, threatening to kick him off the team. He is untouchable. And they finally get this power and expel him out of his place of power. That is
remember
what's
the Holy
beautiful
Grail?
about
But-
5.
Do you remember the Holy Grail?
I was.
because the whole thing of the Holy Grail is like all the adults are in there and they're all sheep because they're all are apparently supposed to be bad.
All right. The adults bad thing, like I was gonna sit here to say, the whole angst thing. I disagree with you on that too. I'm with him on that because
It's angsty,
really,
though.
it's also a matter of realism because they did it for each game. They do it for. That's why I said at the beginning of this whole podcast, I straight up said each person.
Podcast.
Podcast. I said each person has their own persona.
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say each person has their own persona that they like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nothing takes away from them equally, except for like how the game is ran. Like Persona 3 would be definitely. It's harder to get in Persona 3 because that game is fucking hard. It would be a lot of quality of life things in 5 are not in 4, so some people would be kind of turned away from 4.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying with Persona 5 and the whole angst thing is that it's not one of those kind of games. See, me with my life, my personal life, I was someone who I wasn't even a troublemaker. But because of my circumstances and what I've been through, I've been put around troublemakers, you know? I've been put around people who are troublemakers, but they're not even really bad, you know? They just make a lot of issues. And that's what happens in 5. Your whole point of your whole character is that you get framed for, you remember? By the, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
but the whole point
And-
of Persona is getting every single character is an outcast. Everyone that you get to know as
in Persona
characters-
5.
No, every single one of them.
No, in every Persona game.
Oh, in every Persona game, yeah, they're outcasts. But
3
I'm
through
saying,
5.
yeah, but I'm saying like, and that's the thing, because you say how you like 4 the most, right? The reason I feel like you definitely like 4 the most, because you said in 4 everyone has this thing where they go into the TV and that's their whole party, right? In Persona 5, you don't have that.
I thought we were going to agree that we didn't debate in this part.
I'm not
no,
debating.
that sounds fun.
I'm
We are
explaining.
debating.
I'm not debating. I'm explaining 5 because he's talking about 4. I'm
The
talking
Pinky?
about 5.
Because this originally started because I was saying
Yeah.
I hate the fact that Persona 5 gets all the popularity.
And I'm
of
explaining.
this
I'm just
entire
explaining
series
5.
of
I'm
over
not
30 games.
Yeah, I'm
But
not.
we're also not explaining to them anything about it.
I'm not telling the story. I'm talking about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not debating. I'm just talking about the game.
I think I'm just confused as to where we
Okay,
are right now.
I'm just talking about the game Persona 5 because he definitely said he has a bias to 4. I'm talking about 5. I'm defending 5 and showing what is in 5.
that's a
I'm not
debate.
going. Okay,
He's
it's.
not knocking 4.
I'm not knocking him
Okay.
for it.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not
just
knocking
praising
him for it.
Where is he's just?
I'm
he's
praising
giving-
5. Yes,
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
just praising
'Cause I was
5.
just
That is
telling
my
him-
whole thing.
'cause-
I'm
Oh.
clearing things up for the viewers because he said it has so much angst,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
did-
trying to
to be
explain
fair, I did
what
say that.
angst and how angst works.
Okay.
and that's so. Like I was saying, the angst where it comes from. I know that I've grown up. I've been around people who aren't troublemakers. In the beginning of the game, the whole purpose of you're on probation. That's the only Persona game like that. The reason you're on probation is because you are framed for hurting someone, and that
Hurting a-
wasn't even no,
hurting
not
a-
rape. You hurt him. Remember,
I never said that.
Oh. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm a ghost butterflies. I don't know what just happened. Anyways, no, this is headphones. It's the headphones. Anyways, listen. It's about because you were in probation because you hurt someone or you assaulted someone, right? And you got convicted of something you didn't do, right? When you are put, and then they put you in a position, if you relay that in real life and in public schools, they put you in a position where you have none of these people. On your record, this says, oh yeah, you did this thing. And everyone's like, holy shit, you're a fucking awful person. Like, literally get away from me, you know? And
All right. To be fair, now that we're talking about it, I think I do like that game a lot more than I'm making it sound.
That's what I
I'm
keep
just-
trying to tell you.
I'm just really jealous
okay.
that my game doesn't get the recognition.
That's exactly that's what I'm saying. So that's I kept
trying to tell you that.
That's what I was saying.
Dude,
That's
you know how bad it fucking sucks.
But listen, now you see what I mean. But now you see what I mean. But I'm not debating. I'm literally the game. I'm just
So-
trying to
Does-
refresh memory.
and the same
game
line-
is
I could talk about Nocturne forever, but no one's gonna talk about Nocturne because Persona 5 exists.
It's because it's good.
Yeah, it's great, and I know that. I'm just really
You're
jealous.
just a hipster.
Yeah.
I'm,
you just don't like what other
I'm just
people
a
like.
hipster asshole.
But
Yeah,
no,
so
that's not true because I still like it.
wait.
I recommend it to people.
I would still like to talk about the music because
Oh yeah,
I still think it's the
play the clip,
Oh,
Jamie.
So I want
Persona.
to lightly say that 3 has the best soundtrack.
fuck yeah.
3
thank
has
you.
the best soundtrack. Now, it's obviously debatable because every theme is different. Every single time is a different period of
agree.
time. You know what I
Overall,
mean?
3 has the best soundtrack.
Everything with the suspense theme in 3 perfectly captures what you're feeling at that moment
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's exciting, but it's also very ominous. So, but let's also look add all of the other music, because the music defines the game, because you're going to be in turn-based combat for about 50 hours in each game.
And telltale
So-
action choices
So
through the half of the
when
other
I was
half.
saying, when I first booted up Persona 5, right, I regretted buying it immediately, because I started it and I was like, I watched the opening cinematic and I was like, I need to play the other games. I have no idea what this is.
That's what I said.
These games are insanely daunting for anybody, even if you know that it doesn't correlate
I never
at
thought
all.
about that.
Yeah.
How?
Even,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, even though it doesn't correlate at all. I booted that game up, went through like an hour of dialogue, right?
Because there's no.
Very daunting, because I was like,
Oh, it's long.
yeah, I was like,
Well,
I don't know about
they get up
this.
to like 90+ hour games.
Yes.
So
They get
shit,
longer
they're-
and longer.
They get
Persona
longer.
3 is like 40 hours.
40 hours,
3.
75 with Fez.
And then Persona 4 base and Golden are like 80,
That's
90.
one of them.
I finished it. I finished Golden in like 65.
I finished 5 in 110 hours.
Yes.
I was,
Damn.
That's
So-
a normal playthrough.
yeah, 5 is the
110
longest
hours
game.
for that shit.
But
That's a very long.
110 hours for a normal playthrough.
Uh-huh.
That is
Yeah,
insane.
but 5, when I first hit a combat scene, right? You get
Oh,
into combat for
yeah.
the first time, bro.
Last Surprise
Last
plays,
Surprise starts playing, bro. That's the first time I've
literal
ever.
chills.
That is the first time I've ever played a game, stood up and started fucking dancing, bro. Because I had headphones in. I had headphones in with my PS4 controller, because it is a PS4 exclusive.
only
So
good
I stand up
Persona
and I start
Don't
fucking
ignore.
dancing, bro.
If you could
that
listen
shit
to it
is
right
so.
now, you'd get what we're trying
That
to say.
shit is so banger, you do not understand.
And I played that shit without, because the song already released before the game came out. And I know
I'll
that,
go
but I
listen to
played the
that
game
shit.
like I never listened to the song. And the biggest thing I want to say about that
Oh, yeah,
too.
that's the good Persona.
Shut up. Anyways,
They're all good.
They're all. No, he believes that's the only good one. Anyways,
That's incorrect.
No, it's a joke. I'd say
yeah, no, yeah. He does that all the time. Whenever we play Smash, he'll pick that song. He'll be like, "This is the best song. This is the only good song."
It is one of the
Persona
best
song.
songs. I think.
It's
Actually,
re-
song.
I don't
That's
think it's
what
one
I'm
of the
talking
best.
Mass Destruction is probably like the best.
Goated.
No,
Mass
Mass
Destruction is so
Destruction
goaded.
Even
It's so
Carter
good.
knows
And it
that
has,
song.
and the beauty,
think so,
and the
probably.
beauty of
Yeah.
Mass
We listened to
Destruction
the Carter
is that it has
Oh, damn.
4 different versions.
That's
it
what I'm
has
saying.
4 different versions, and because and another thing, this franchise does have movies and stuff. If you don't want to watch them, like and stuff like that, but it's very like. Kind of not frowned upon, but very controversial. Which one is like accurate to the games?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people do not like Persona 5 the animation, the
Exactly.
first season, not the movie,
Yeah.
the other movies. Some people love
It's an anime also.
some people love the Disney
Well-
XD's. Well, it wasn't Disney XD, but like it was. That's how Americans
To
got
be
it.
fair, the only reason why people don't like those anime is because the entire fun in all the Persona games is you being able to choose what happens. Like you get to choose who to date and all that, but in the anime it is completely streamlined.
like, yeah, it's
it
canon
almost
no matter
tries
what.
to say this is the canon when they also write right after that. Oh yeah, this isn't canon, but like this is a generic run of what the game would be.
And you
It's still
just,
just the main
and you
story.
just reminded me back to what I was saying about Persona 5 and you liking Persona 4. The biggest thing I said about Persona 4 was when you go through these experiences, pretty much every character in your party has a shadow that you learn about, right?
Yes.
And because of that, you learn more about these
Yes.
characters in your party, and you want to interact with them because you see their shadows.
Yeah.
Persona 5 and 3 do not have that, but in their stories, you interact with the characters. But Persona 3's even like after, have you ever played The Answer before? Do you know what the answer is?
We both didn't finish.
No.
it.
Y'all never finished the answer. The answer
I
is
know what
why I still
happens.
the answer. No, I know, but the answer is why I think Persona 3 is the best storytelling out of all of them, even 4. Because how the answer works is that they realize they realize something important happens, right? And
Randy
when
wants
they-
pizza.
Wow.
Sorry.
I was like, what are they trying to be so secret about? And you said it. I was like, that's so secret.
Anyways,
Ridiculous.
but like I was saying, the answer, if you've never played it, and I will say this without like a spoiler free on what the answer is. The premise of that is they realize, like the party, I'm not gonna say who because spoilers.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
party
yeah.
realizes that they are not a party. They realize that in the answer. They're like, oh my gosh, like we
That
hung
is a pretty
around,
good moment.
we hung around with each other, but we do not know shit about each other. We do not care about each other. Only this person or thing was keeping us together. We would never have met in any other circumstances. We are literally not a party. We are not friends. We are just people.
video games.
Yeah, but we are just
Yeah.
people doing a job. But in Persona 4 specifically, each person you meet, you
They
learn
are
that-
friends.
You learn their history. Like you literally
you learn
like
what
into-
makes that
yeah, they go
person
into
tick.
as the game progresses. Like it's forced on you.
Saying
It's
3 and 5.
you have the choice. You have to make a choice to do that.
Yeah,
and
you
I
choose
can't
who to be
spoil.
friends with.
And I can't spoil the biggest thing in 3. But something happens in 3, and it makes it feel like all of that is for nothing.
Yeah, like,
and
it
that's
makes it feel
very.
like you did this for nothing.
and that's
else.
very fucking big on how those games work. Persona 5.
That's not to
you have
discredit it. It
Persona,
makes it good.
Yeah. It makes it really fucking good. That's why I like 3 storytelling the most. But with Persona 5, you go through the same thing where, like I said, imagine you're not really an outcast if you grew up around people who are bad. You're not really a bad person, you know? You're just kind of
Well, none of those characters are. That's the point.
But but half of them are in bad shit. Ryuji definitely is a fucking vulgar person. We know
he's a
that, and that's
vulgar
not
person,
a spoiler.
but he's not a bad kid,
Yosuke
that's the
is
point.
yeah. None of them are bad, but how they act, they are definitely like they have toxic behaviors that they
Haru?
retain. Haru is a pleaser.
Alright,
Haru is a
fair
pleaser.
enough,
Haru is
point
she
is-
is a selfless pleaser. An is a I'll do what everyone says.
Yeah, I'll do whatever they say if it gets me
What's
good.
I'm not really explaining anything to you guys.
Okay, a general blanket.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
explaining
yeah.
the story. I'm explaining the story progression of each game differently, and how like you ran out the room when I said this, but I said if you never play, I'm gonna repeat this really quick. No, if you never played the answer, the biggest writing thing about the answer
Yeah.
is that the way the parties interact throughout the games, none of them. 4 people love 4 because you get the party members and you see them and you get to witness their secrets, and that compels you more, right? 3 and 5 do not have that. You just kind of learn a little bit about the character or whatever the palette, but then nothing more to it. You know, nothing about them, just the thing. You have to willingly go out. That's why 5 Arcana, like getting that Arcana levels, is a bit more interesting because you're like, okay, this just happened. We just experienced this. I kind of want to know a little bit more about you. Whereas in Persona 4, you know a bit about them, but you're like, hey, this happened. I already witnessed all of it. I kind of don't care because I know how you feel, you know?
That's not how I felt at all.
But-
That's not how I felt at all. That made me want
Alright,
to
how'd
learn
you
more
feel?
about them.
So yeah, let's say that makes me
Yeah.
want to know about more because like the whole point of Persona 3 is you're right. Like the point of the story
Oh, yeah,
becomes
3.
it
Yeah.
becomes like
Well,
we
you didn't
don't
tell-
know
you didn't
each
tell that
other
to him.
at
Yeah,
all.
you didn't tell him that part.
the whole
but- yeah.
point of like the answer and stuff is like we don't really know each other. We just kind of hung around each other because we all have the same ability. We are nothing alike. As we're in Persona 4, and this is where I disagree with them. Persona 4 I like so much because it is a dude. It's almost like I met someone random at work and I saw their deepest darkest secret, and it's like, dude, I didn't really know you before, but like I feel like I witnessed a part of you that no one else has, and you saw something part of me that no one else has. Let's get through this together. And that's why I like 4 so much, because it's like you don't just learn small little things like I have a morbid obsession to marijuana. It's like, no, like they got some fucked up shit going on. One of them being like the whole identity of a character is that they want to be a detective, a Grey Star detective, but no one will ever see a detective as a female. So she dresses as a boy, acts like a boy, and no one knows it's really a girl. And then you start finding out, like, it's pretty simple on paper, but then you start figuring out more and more into it about their history and their childhood and all that, and it's great. What is that? Oh, yeah, that too. But like, amazing, and it's cool, and I see that, and I'm like, I want to know more about this character. I want to protect you. I want to be your friend. And like, whenever I beat 4, I remember like as a kid looking at it, and I started crying because like there's like this cute, endearing scene where it's like you're on the train going back to your hometown, and all of your friends you just made are waving goodbye, and, like chasing the train, all that. Like it's so generic and cheesy, but it's like because of the way that game ends, I was like, dude, this is fake. I just lost my friends. Like I can no longer see anything new about them ever again. Where whenever I beat 5 and 3, it was more of like I'm gonna miss them, but like they are kind of just friends. I chose who to be close with. So in difference to me having 8 friends in Persona 4, I lost like 3 in Persona 3. If that makes sense.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
What are you trying to say, Wayland?
I get that this whole friends and stuff, like you'll never be the same
entire
again.
point.
That's the entire point of Persona.
No. But Persona 4, and we said this in the very beginning, has a lot of games, has a lot of spin-offs. Do you know what game is canon after Persona 4, Matt?
P4 Arena.
And P4?
Arena
Gold.
Ultimates.
No. Arena
Ultimates.
Ultimax.
Golden.
Those are 2 different games. P4,
Ultimax?
yeah,
Ultimax is
P4
another
Arena
game.
and
That's
old.
complete. I just want to talk about the games. Bro.
Oh yeah, okay, well, all right, but
Okay,
yeah.
so
We're
here's
not- we're not
something.
talking
Yeah, yeah, we're not
Here's
going
something-
back
if you
into
guys
it,
want to
but-
explain to me, go ahead and tell me. So, Waylon, earlier you were talking about, I asked about the gimmicks, right? And you were saying, so for the first game, there's the blizzard that comes in, and that's the gimmick.
Right.
But, so
Oh.
for the gameplay of every single one of these games, it's all turn-based with, mixed with like dating sims,
Yes.
throughout the, progression of the
Stress-
gameplay.
It is stress defeating.
And then whenever you get into fighting, it's so how does the gimmicks and say the blizzard and
So what does it have to do with the
game? What does that have to do with like how you're doing like the turn-based fighting?
I'll
system
do
and shit?
P3. I'll do P3.
through the.
You
Go
what do you
ahead.
want?
I mean the gimmick.
I'll do P3. He's
Starting-
explaining like
starting with
how living,
Persona
how
1.
doing
Not really.
this, dude.
I
How
didn't talk
doing
about
this.
it,
whatever
I'll
it
start.
is.
I'll start and you'll understand. I won't go too in depth.
Start with the Blizzard.
So Persona. I can't start with Persona.
Start
1.
with the
Persona 1 is
Blizzard.
only locked in
All right,
Japan.
Peyton,
Anyways.
start with the blizzard. No, okay. What am I
Anyways,
saying?
listen,
Waylon?
Persona 3. So the biggest thing about Persona 3, and this applies to the later games, but this is like my take on
Yeah.
it. Persona 3 is you live a student life. You go to school and you do the. Anyways, you go to school and you're in school and you meet people, right? And they find out you have this ability. So how
Right.
that works is this translate over to the shadow realm or the dark hour or the extra
Yeah.
hour. What happens in the dark hour is that your character gains these abilities that they cannot possess in the real world. They are there, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you would
yeah.
think it would be locked into the real world.
So
but
every single one of these characters have like this specific power because Joker has his arson or his special his stand, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
That's how I view him as
to
stands.
give a
'cause that's, like, the
blanket
general
statement
comparison.
really, really fast, every single persona game, the entire point is every character has what's called a persona,
Yeah.
and the entire point is it's a physical manifestation of their inner heart and like them as a character. It's a stand from JoJo. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
it is a
It's actually Persona is based off JoJo.
Yeah.
yeah.
JoJo,
explain JoJo to me.
yeah, because Persona is based off JoJo. Personas are based off stands from JoJo, and that's legitimate. Like they said that.
Right.
So like, also weird point. 1 and 2 are completely different than 3 through 5.
Yeah, I was.
So like a blanket statement to encompass all 5 of them is you are a high schooler that has the power to summon the physical manifestation of their heart to kill what are called shadows, which is whenever someone's evil desires are manifested into a physical manifestation as well.
Right.
So it's good versus evil, light versus darkness in the most literal sense.
and it
Shin
doesn't.
Megami
and I was gonna,
versus Tensei, if you will.
and I was gonna say, and that does apply, but not to every game.
Street
because
Fighter versus Tekken.
but because
Street
of how,
versus fighter.
I hate y'all so much.
That's what it is.
True, but
Guilty versus Gear.
Mortal versus Combat. That's fucking awful.
Bloody versus roar.
In versus Justice.
Blaze versus Blue. But
Oh, man.
but the
That
biggest
fighting
thing
game's
is like how personas are interpreted. Like that is the whole gimmick. You gain these personas in these shadow worlds.
Right.
How the shadows and their origin differs from game. I'm not gonna get into it. It differs from game.
Yes.
And what it does, like he said, that's a manifestation of one's like shadows or the villains.
Right.
That is from
No, go on. Sorry. I realized something I want to
yeah,
talk about.
but that is from like that is more towards the lines of 4 and 5. 3, it is a utter fucking mystery, and so this is me talking about 3. You live a school life and you go into the shadow world, and what you do is your persona. It applies in the shadow world, but that carries. But the interesting thing about this game, or at least 3's mechanic, is that it carries to the real world.
Right.
And how it carries to the real world is that you learn through a character, and this is in all games. They'll explain their take. Igor is supposed to be your
love that, man.
he's supposed to be your caretaker. He watches over you, right?
The mentor, the guy.
He's a mentor slash guide who watches over you and how you use your persona. He's the one who tells you that you have it, but he will not communicate to any other party member about this. They don't know
He
he's
speaks in tongues.
there. Yeah, that's him.
He
Yeah,
always
long
says your
group.
fate is tied to your
God
destiny.
damn.
What will you do? Live or die. That's all what he says.
And-
Just sum
and
that
those
up.
looks
And-
like two balls in a
And
bong.
so, and so the biggest thing about Igor is that he tells you, he's like, yo, yeah, he helps you, and he got
Or
throughout the
stupid.
game. He's like, okay, he gives you hints. He's like, you have this power. It's strong now, but it can be a lot stronger if you blah blah blah. And what the blah 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 is in the real world, you have actions, you have choices that you make. Literally every second like that you choose by, you can make yourself stronger. You can like work out or something. You can go. That stuff
Okay,
will
yeah.
amplify in the shadow world.
Oh,
so when
shit.
when you interact with other party members and stuff, if you get to know them close enough, the more they will be likely to cooperate with you and understand what your style is of moving, you know?
Right,
And
yeah.
and that's why a lot of the
And
protagonists
that makes for better party members whenever you're fighting up
Exactly,
against like other
yeah.
people.
Right, because you're like, if you're fighting a boss, I'm not gonna sit here like, who would you rather have? Would you rather have someone who's super fucking strong but hates your guts or just does not understand you, or someone who's always kind of been there for you and you'll know that you'll have a chance you'll be safer fighting because in that game specifically, it's different from the other games. But in that game specifically, you cannot control
Okay,
your party
let's shut up.
This is about the game.
Just stop talking
fuck
about
up,
just this
Waylon.
one
God
game.
damn.
All right, then you go.
No, Matt, because I know you want to say something.
I
Yeah.
want to touch on personas again. So, with personas, because I want to do a better explanation as to what personas are. So, with that, I'm going to pose the question: what is your favorite persona and why?
Like-
for a party
Monster?
member, like a party member, right? Because the main character can switch personas. That's what makes the main character.
But their main persona defines them. That is, don't forget that their
they
main
get their own persona
He's
that
not
defines
sick.
them, but
First-
the main character can switch personas. So what I wanted to talk about was your favorite persona and how it represents your favorite party member, right?
Oh, like out of the main character's main
Correct.
personas.
So
So
Mine,
this is like reading your horoscope.
mine personally is Izanagi from Persona 4. The reason being, if you do the secret ending in Persona 4, you find out. Should I not say that?
No.
you literally just said ending. This is what happens.
Don't
No,
say
I'm not gonna say
anything
what
about
happens.
that.
I'm just gonna
No, no,
say
no, no.
why Izanagi is so important. Like why I like him so much is because of his importance.
But if it
I'm just
involves
asking
secret,
how well it represents the character.
the character.
Is what I'm asking.
Think about what you're
oh,
saying.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So like the
I
best way
remember
I
I'm
can
not
make an
gonna play the
example for it, I think the one that like has the example for a character the best is Ryuji's persona.
Captain Kidd is pretty
Captain
good.
Kidd who is a well-known pirate. Ryuji is an outcast. He is a rebel. He does things that other people will not do, and he is brash. Henceforth, being a fucking pirate.
Yeah,
It is
I'll agree with you.
It is a big ass dude riding a fucking pirate ship. That is his persona. It's so fucking dope.
It's
I don't
goofy.
even- I don't even
But
like
it's amazing
because Ryuji is a goofy but violent dude.
and lovable dude too.
yeah, so that I don't even like Ryuji that much.
Don't
but
forget
his
to mention they
persona-
have ultimate personas. I forgot. Yeah.
Ultimate personas are a completely different thing.
Well,
I don't
right,
even
but
like
I'm
them.
gonna say-
Isn't that like the evolved version of the person?
Yeah,
That's
but
why
if
I
we're
was just
gonna
saying. I
discuss
was
their
just
evolved
putting that
state-
idea out there.
Evolved stuff.
Yeah, no, I was just putting that idea out there for you. Nothing else. I was
Yeah.
gonna talk.
So
Spitball,
that was mine.
Spitball.
If either of you have a favorite representation of a party member,
I mean-
like how well it represents them as a character.
I don't know the name of the persona. I have two, but I'll state them really quickly. I was going to one, but I'll state the other one quickly. One, Yosuke's persona. Yosuke's persona.
What the fuck even is that?
I forgot what it's called.
If I pulled up a picture right now and showed it to you, you would not know what.
But
the fuck
it's
it is.
really fucking silly.
I don't know the
Basically,
name.
the premise of it, I can tell you from design, it's really silly. But it is a winds type persona. Oh yeah, each persona has type. Ryuji's is electricity.
Kinda like Pokemon.
So, yeah, but he has electricity and strength. And keep that in mind with what he said, how he would do decisions that are fucking rash and stuff. So he would that typically means he thinks with his hands more than his ability. So he uses electricity barely, like even the skills he gains.
Greninja.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Jiraiya. It's Jiraiya.
Jiraiya, that's
It's
what it's
Jiraiya.
called.
That's what it's called. Yeah, but Jiraiya. That's my favorite. That like it represents Yosuke accurately because Yosuke is more of a Every other character has these like secret shit, and they're like, oh, but I'll
So-
go ahead and tell you Yosuke's just dead ass. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah, that's exactly that entire character.
Yeah, and because he's like, I'm
I
bored.
didn't care this
So,
girl
like,
died because I was bored.
Yeah, and
It's
like,
really weird.
because so the thing that kicks off Persona 4 is a murder that is grisly. It's a chick that's mangled on a fucking antenna, right?
And it's
that
his crush.
It happens to be his crush, and it actually excited him that something happened in this small little town.
He comes from the
Because-
big city,
Yeah.
and nothing was happening in the city. And she passes away, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad. She was my senpai." But then you talk to a shadow, and it's I am so glad she died. I'm sorry it had to be her, but something is finally happening, and I'm so excited. And I
I'm
feel
bored.
bad that I'm
That's
excited.
the interest
He's
in it.
bored.
That's
He's just
and
bored.
basically,
That's all it is.
And when he grows, and he gets his persona, then he's like, you are me, and I acknowledge that I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah, they have to acknowledge who they are
have to
before they can
acknowledge who
have
they
a
are before they
persona.
can have their persona back. So what happens is his persona, how it accurately represents him, is because Yosuke is a trickster. He is a very goofy person. He is very
Yeah.
Because of that, he is very quick. He is very quick with how he thinks and how he like moves. He moves at a faster pace than everyone. So a lot of his skills are wind skills and like speed up skills like Dekukaja and stuff because he is a very quick to the point character. He is very flashy. He moves very flashy. He fights with double kunais. In Persona 4 Arena, you can see that's how he fights and stuff in his persona. And how his persona works, his persona is super fast. And it's just all over the place, and that's just how Yosuke's character is. Like one of his intros in Persona 4 is or not even intro in the game. He crashes his bike multiple times.
That's
you know
true.
when they cut the wire and he was like, "Oh shit, it fell."
brakes won't work.
And then nothing. You remember? I don't want to spoil. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you know the scene with the where they had to sniff out. And they were like, when Teddy had to sniff out that thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's not.
All right,
that was not
so
normal. And then
I'll say mine
Oh.
because I feel like we're getting too deep
No,
into
no,
like
yeah,
the
you're
character.
fine.
Yeah, we're
So, first of all, before I discuss who my favorite representation will be, I am surprised we have forgotten to acknowledge the fact of like the coolest thing in that game that everyone will agree with me once I say it. No Shadow or Persona is a character that's not already in the mythos of some religion or some history. Like, there are a lot of the personas are Christian mythos, like Messiah and Lucifer, and even
Like
a character
biblical
portraying
angels,
God,
like
biblical,
Gabriel?
yeah. And they are like, they are terrifying looking. And then you have like,
Biblical
why am I
angels
having a brain
are
fart?
horrifying to look at
Like
to
Jack
begin
Frost.
with, bro.
Yeah, and then you have like Jack Frost is stupid, and you have like Pixies, and then you have like Roman stuff. Like they're all like they're original, of course, but they're all based on a mythos that's already a thing. The reason why my favorite is the main character in Persona 3
Right.
is because discussing ultimate personas, this one's a pretty big one because every single person's ultimate persona becomes just an evolution of it. Or the main character has one called Orpheus. Yeah, right. Well, the main character has Orpheus, which is already cool looking on its own, and it becomes Messiah.
it's an angel. You forgot to mention that part.
Well, it's an angel.
Orpheus. That's
Point
my
is,
favorite.
it
That was
becomes
my
the
favorite.
Messiah, and once his persona becomes the Messiah, at that point in the story, it makes a lot of sense, and it kind of defines that character. And if he never showed up, these kids would fucking be dead.
Right.
So he is like their Messiah anyway. So I do like that representation. But if I didn't have to choose that, I would easily choose Captain Kidd. I do agree with Matt.
Absolutely.
Because Captain Kidd is just perfectly who he
perfect
is.
manifestation of his character,
And
and,
then
that's
not-
what I love about Persona.
Oh, yeah.
It's got some of the best like written characters to really like pull you into what the story is and what you're doing. Because if you didn't have the motivation to get to know these people, so let's say this persona will get stronger because once you strengthen your bond with someone, that strengthens their persona because
Right.
they are becoming more in one with themselves because they get to confide in you.
Okay.
So that's one of the best parts about it because not only are you balancing school with studying, you have 5 different traits.
Is it fun?
That's right. Yeah, you're doing all that shit on the side
I think
with
so.
that.
Yeah, it's
Some
like,
games are different. Some's 4.
Yeah, so you have traits that you have to upgrade individually.
We'll get back to
That-
that studying shit, bro. I want to know how the
So-
fuck that works, bro.
So basically, when you
Studying
study,
and testing
what
shit.
stat do you think studying increases?
Shit, it's got to be intelligence, of course, right?
Knowledge. Same
it's
thing.
knowledge.
Yeah,
Same
okay,
thing.
we'll go with
So
that.
there are specific like things that you can do that are only the knowledge stat. Like I can be able to assess this situation better because my knowledge is at a 3 instead of a 1. Because
Right.
You're not a fucking idiot.
Or like,
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
ask this girl because I don't have the courage to do it. So you
Yeah,
have to
so
do
yeah.
things that make you courageous.
Yes.
Okay.
So you also have these traits you have to fucking juggle around
Mm-hmm.
and individually upgrade. So that also goes into that's how you interact with people.
Uh-huh.
And you also have to study, you have to take tests every day. Let's talk about the deadlines.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
It goes off of
Wait a minute.
dates, right? So the game begins, let's say, May 31st. So you have a test June 23rd, but you also have a target of a shadow
Like, someone will die at this date if you do not help them.
on the 23rd. So you have these two different lives that you're juggling around, where you have to study and you have to prepare yourself for this test on this day, which everyone looks up the answers for because
damn.
it's actually like
Oh
school.
yeah, like it is hard questions.
due
I
tomorrow.
always go through a guide to get the answers on those tests. I cheat
even-
like I do in real life. I cheat.
Even Persona
Open up
5,
Quizlet.
Persona 5 was self-aware of that they had a whole.
Sports.
and
They added a
this
system
was
where you
the
can find
coolest
the
thing.
answer in the game.
No, Persona 5's coolest fucking thing was that they had a whole system when the game. If you played the game on release, it is way different from playing it late. I played it late, but I watched someone play it on release. When you play that shit on release, you get and you do a quiz, not even a test, but a quiz. You have this whole button. It's called the Thieves Guild. It's called the touchpad. You press the touchpad, and you have to.
They
look
didn't
at-
help me.
You have to you have to look at a vote of choices that everyone made, right? If you play the game in the beginning, no one knows the fucking answers.
25, 25,
So you
25,
have a
25.
fucking-
Everyone had the same
so
percent.
you
We
have a
didn't know what was
guess.
happening.
So you have a guess of what the fuck is going on. Like I don't know the answer to this shit. Let me ask all my fellow
You think I know what the third sea on the right from Egypt going down from the Western Hemisphere is? No.
No.
I looked it up. No one else knew what it was
And
either.
yeah.
What's the first food they made in Mesopotamia?
That's what. Why would I know that?
And then you look, you hit the
Hummus.
touchpad and you see everything is just. But you hit the
Peas.
touchpad, and you see that everything is 25. If you play the game late,
Fucking
and this is in
Salisbury
P4
steak.
Golden, I
Yeah.
think, but if you play the game late with Persona 5, you will clearly see, oh, this
Exactly.
is the answer.
Yeah, like everyone knows.
So what I loved about Persona whenever I was first playing it is that when you go into like a palace in Persona 5, so you have to go to school, that goes from the morning to the afternoon, and then immediately go to the palace. As soon as you get out, it's evening, and you're like, okay, I can get some shit done. Psych, you're too tired to do anything. So
It has
you
a good way of
can't-
handling stress.
Absolutely. So you have both things to worry about, right? I have this thing in another world I have to deal with, right? But I also have my test next week.
So at 10 o'clock, I have my final exams. At 12 o'clock, I have to kill God.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example that's like spoiler free, but we already stated this earlier
Yes.
with the first palace is, you know, the Kamoshida.
Yeah, the assaulting teacher.
Yeah, so the assaulting teacher is gonna try to get you expelled. And like
Yes.
I said, you're on probation.
Yeah.
So
That is the
you have to
coolest part of
juggle
that game.
So you have to juggle that you're on probation. So you gotta be honest. You can't do anything crazy because like people will suspect the thing. Like even though it's not important, what means by people will suspect the thing, they will stop you from doing things
Yes.
if you are suspected. And that
Yes.
means you get no time to do anything. So what you want to do is you're trying to balance a life while going into the palace to stop him from expelling you.
Yes.
And worrying about the test. Like those are three different
Yeah.
things that you have to deal with just immediately, and you have a deadline. That shit is stressful. And then not only do you,
He's holding his head. He doesn't even
and
know how to process
and
it.
keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. You are a student, right? Your parents aren't helping you. You need to make money. You need to do
you have
so
to get a
much
job?
shit. You have to get a job.
This is a turn-based.
This is a
Yes.
turn-based
Yes.
game.
That's why
It's
people
That's why
like
it
it
takes,
so
like
much.
he
in
said,
a
it takes,
completely
it
different
took him
game.
100 and something hours. to
110
be-
hours
That
to
game is
Persona 5.
long. It's a very
Also,
long
let
game.
it be known, you will look these games up online. You'll be like, oh, these games look cute. They look adorable. They are really dark at times.
They're very dark.
I remember playing through Persona 5 my first run, and there's a girl standing on top of a school about to jump. And yeah, it's towards the beginning of the game, so I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna feel bad. The point is, I remember like playing it with my friend. It was like the first like 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
And I remember
I was at,
like,
like, 6.
oh, they wouldn't do that. And I was like, do a flip, and I click the next button, and she just falls off the building. And I was
And
like,
then
yo,
there's a
what
sound.
the
There was
fuck?
a sound too. There was,
Yeah,
there was
there's a sound.
of her hitting, and you're like-
and you're just like, did they actually just program that in the fucking game? A girl committing suicide. She lives. I will say that. I don't want you guys to go on knowing that she died. The whole thing is like she lives because she is an interest character for someone else. Like it is her reason to keep
Yeah.
fighting. So they're not just gonna plain out kill her. They're dark games, but they're not gonna be like, I watched her legs get pulled off as
They're
she
very
bled through
realistic.
every orifice
Yeah.
of her body.
They're
Like, it's
very
not like
realistic.
that.
They're very realistic as
It's
far
realistic.
as people, like how people would interact, you know? Like, so an example, imagine we have a party member and someone dies, right? And then they're just like, oh, I'm just perfectly fine with that's not normal.
Yeah.
If someone literally just straight up and you'd be like, no, you know? So like the whole point is if the character lives, right, it's more realistic that that person wants to keep hanging on and fighting for that person while they're struggling to battle their own fight, which was being in a hospital bed.
Yeah. Being paralyzed.
Not being able to fucking move. But, okay, TLDR. Basically, Persona is way more convoluted than we can give you guys time to even explain.
Seems
There
so.
are 3 different games that I have that are
And
completely
each game are
played
so
3
different.
different ways, and that's the whole thing. I know I keep trailing kind of off, but I just wanted to reiterate to everyone that there are 3 different games, and each game is completely different in how they
5.
function. 5 is one of the best ones I say to get into.
No, there's 5 games.
There's a,
You forget.
Which one's the best one to get into time wise and like
Right
gameplay
now?
wise? And right now,
I can't say it's not 5.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like if you have a laptop that's running Windows 10, you can run P4 Golden for $20. Whereas Persona 5
Yeah.
Royal, you can't even buy physically right now because
Use discount
everyone
code.
bought it. What?
Use discount code.
Oh, I would say the games that I believe people should get into. If you are a casual, do
Pokemon.
Persona 5. If you don't, if you're a casual, do Persona 5. I'm about to explain it. If you are a casual, do Persona 5. If you want to experience the game, like if you are someone who's like, I want to give a game a chance, please play Persona 3 first. I have seen so many. No, listen. Y'all can
Matt
say
just
for all y'all want.
immediately
I've
nodded.
seen so many different reviews where people have complained, shitted on Persona 3's gameplay because it is not it is dated as far as the new games.
Right.
Persona 5 is the least dated
It's
game. If you are a
PlayStation 2.
casual gamer, Persona 5 is easier to get
No,
into.
Persona
It was so much
3,
easier for me to
PlayStation
play
2.
than 4. And I had 4 Golden on
let's
the
also
Vita,
discuss.
and I had 4.
There's 2 different versions of Persona 3. One's in the PS2 called FES, where you cannot control your allies, and 9 times out of 10, they will do not what you want them
You
to
can't do
do
that in
and
both.
get you killed.
You can't
Yes, you
control
can. You can control them in Persona 3 Portable. I played Portable.
Oh, and
This is part of
portable.
the
Oh, yeah.
and there's
portable.
there's one on the
I forgot about portable.
PSP where you can control your teammates, and it makes the game incredibly easier. And then, wait, what do you mean?
Because there's the original.
Oh, well, the original. But if you're looking up online, you will probably not find original. You will find FES.
And that's kind of sad because the original 3 is completely different, like how music and stuff too.
I think I don't know if let's say I was trying to convince like Randy, who is not too into
Then these
turn-based
3.
games. Yeah, if I
You
told
cannot
guys,
convince me to play Persona.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
So Ashton and Carter.
So Ashton and Carter, right?
Yeah.
If I was telling you Persona 5 is great and I explained everything to you and you're like, oh, that's cool, 110 hours to beat, they're not gonna go.
It's a bit
reasonable.
much.
That's
I wouldn't
completely-
tell. I wouldn't even
podcast
tell them
dedicated,
it was
guys.
100 hours.
You gotta. Because that is the defining point of Persona games, is that it is such a commitment because you get so attached. You either get attached to the game,
Are you tired of it?
I got 75 hours into Persona 5 and went, I'm good. I never
got
finished.
attached to it, and that's why I finished
I
it.
got attached to it, and that's
Yeah.
why I
It
finished.
is so split. It's not like I played half the game. I really enjoyed it. People will stop playing it because they're like, I can't fucking do this.
Even
I
before the
can't-
first
I
Palace,
couldn't.
even before I've seen
and that's
Randy
coming
quit before
from
the first
someone that
Palace.
has
It is
played
a
nothing
commitment.
but turn-based games,
I
and
don't
there was
like
finally
turn-based
something
RPGs.
fresh.
I know.
I
And
tried
then
to play it,
I played.
and like it was just unbearable.
Oh no, it's cool. What?
No, he was saying no. 'Cause I stated.
I I dislike turn-based RPGs that much. I tried to play Persona 5.
Okay.
I literally didn't. I got like partially through the first palette, and I was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to
Exactly.
do it.
R2 to shoot.
So yeah. Sneaky beaky, I'll just sit at this corner for 3 minutes until the AI turns back around.
Yeah. I find
So-
that more enjoyable
Have
than
you ever
turn-based
seen? Have
RPGs.
you ever seen the reviews of Persona 5?
Imagine
though?
that.
Yes.
Have you seen reviews of people going back to P3 and how people portray P3 and P4?
You and P3.
No, I
I'm
know I'm
just-
going back, but I'm saying even towards P4, have you seen the reviews to both of them, 3 and 4?
Yeah,
Yes.
they forget it exists.
No, it's not that they forget it exists. They literally absolutely trash those games because it is missing mechanics from the other games. I've seen it happen. Have you seen a review for
Well,
it?
it's also because
Yes.
games kind of just get easier as time goes on. So it's,
Exactly.
like, more
That's
people
what I was
get into
saying,
them. So like
But-
5's like really easy.
I think
it missing a mechanic. Why is that such a big deal?
Like he just said,
it's
really,
quality
like
of
like
life.
and
Do you know
what
what
he
that
know,
means in a game?
but what he
Quality
just
of
said,
Quality of life
yeah,
mechanics
but-
in the game.
Oh,
So like it's like it makes. Okay, so for instance, I'm gonna play a game where I can walk for either an hour or I can walk for 0 seconds by fast traveling.
Okay.
that's a quality.
That's
of life.
quality of life.
Okay.
No one wants to walk through the hour.
Right.
But then you do have people like us where we're really stupid and like walking in that hour, there's a beautiful view. There's a really cool thing I just did. I had this creative moment.
Okay.
So like a lot of people now, games are so easy, they don't like that. And Persona 5 has a lot of quality of life, whereas Persona 3 and 4 don't. But because of its hard mechanics, I have personally had more of a commitment because I had to work around those problems. So it's kind of hard to say which one people should play. Casually, people should play 5, but if like you said, if you do want to get into what those games are, the meat of it, I'm not even gonna say just play 4, even though that's my personal favorite. Play both of them. Pick one. Which one fits you more? They all have a theme. 3 is about religion. 4 is about like personal deepest darkest desires, your shadow, you as a person,
5 is
and 5 is
powerlessness.
about being powerless. Like they all
Teenage
have
angst.
something to do.
Teenage
yeah,
angst,
right.
as you would put it.
They
Yeah.
all have like its own theme. That's disregarding 1 and 2 because I don't think we can have a conversation about it. I know about them, but I don't know if you guys know
Are they
anything
following
about
the
them.
same person throughout 1 through 5?
No,
No, it's
all of them
different.
are different games.
They're
playing
all
as
of them are
Joker throughout the
completely
You
entire
play as you play as
series.
you play as a fill-in protagonist that
Wow,
is
that was a
yourself.
field day for
However,
us. Holy shit.
yeah, no. You play as a field.
The Persona series.
You play as a field. You play as a field by you play as yourself, right? Or a protagonist that you operate and you control, but it's supposed to be you, right? However, as such as media, and we're not going to get into it, the protagonists already have stated canon of who they are and what they
Yeah.
are portrayed as. The biggest thing,
I don't believe those though.
yeah, well, to
You're
an
playing
extent.
yourself, and Joker in Persona 5 isn't
Bobby
his name.
Shmurda.
His name isn't. You
Which
can
is
play
what I
Bobby
na-
Shmurda.
Which is
I feel like
what I
something
named
like
my
if you-
character.
Except for
Shmurda
Persona
Kun.
4. Persona 4 doesn't apply to that. For
What are you
P3
talking
either.
about?
Persona 4 doesn't apply to that for P3 because of Arena. But we're not gonna get into that.
No,
yeah, we're
let's
not
not
gonna
talk
get
about
into
that.
So yeah,
on the main line.
but
I
on the
played
main-
Persona 4 making the choices that I would make, not my character. And same for Persona 5. Joker is in Smash, whatever. Joker is a character, but his name's not Joker. It's whoever you want it to be. So like,
Big Mac
Joker is the
your
name.
person that's
Exactly.
Yes, it is you. It is you, and they even make you. They refer to you as you
So
throughout
it's
the
just
game.
like an AI picture that they put on Smash just show.
Yeah,
the AI.
it's
That's
the,
the character.
representation
It's just
of 5.
Right.
represent them. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
they even gave him Joker because they still have to decide what they want to actually do with the
that's
character
like
and what his personality is.
His nickname in the game, because they're bandits. His code name is Joker. So like, if you're going to discuss the character in the game without saying, the main character, you just say Joker.
Yeah.
Where in like Persona 4, it's you. And number 3.
Why you?
I don't.
Minato and blah blah blah. Makoto in the movie, that was the movie character. The whole
So
purpose
Minato.
of 3, but the whole purpose of 3, and back to just sorry to remind you of this. Interesting fact about Joker, wild card, you can switch your persona. That's why his name is Joker. Persona 3. Back to what games to get into. If you want an intricate story that can relate to you as a person, I say play P3 Portable because you have the option of picking a male protagonist and a female protagonist.
different stories.
And that is two different stories, and they can rely. You can date two different people being those things, and the soundtrack is different, the persona different, even the ending is different.
Basically, if you want to date a guy, play the female.
you wanna, yeah, but basically,
Back to what
We homophobic
I was
around
trying
here.
to say about the best beginner-friendly one is that I'm not biased with 4 at all because I played 5 first and I enjoy it
Yeah,
thoroughly.
I begged him to play
He
it.
has nostalgic value for 4, which completely overweighs any kind of fucking judgment that this kid has.
It's my favorite video game. It's my favorite.
I still think 4 is the shortest one because it has, in Golden, fully customizable difficulty.
Oh, that's true.
Fully customizable
That's true.
difficulty.
wait, you
Damn.
can do that in 5, can't you?
No, not even a little
It's still
bit.
just normal, easy, hard. So 4 has difficulty with the battles, how much experience
That's
you
only
gain.
PC
Like,
though.
sliders that you can select.
I
That's where
didn't-
you
I
start
actually
playing the
didn't
game to
remember
actually
that.
select
What?
what kind
I
of
didn't remember
No,
that,
they-
but I know what you're
experience
talking
wanna
about.
have.
Yeah.
Let him
That's pretty
talk.
weird.
I was just spitballing off you. I know what you're talking about.
So
yeah.
right now, Golden on PC is the best way to experience Golden because about 7 people have
Oh,
a
my
PS
ass
Vita.
is hurting, bro.
So
God.
So like with
I'm sorry.
for me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with turn-based games because one thing is it's challenging, it's great, you have to strategize, and 2, in those games if the main character dies, right? In the party, because there's 4 different people, if the main character is targeted and he dies, that's it. Right?
That's it for
you
every
have
game, though.
3 other chances, right? So the thing I hate about turn-based games is that if the enemy wants to, he can aim at your character and decimate you, and there's nothing you can do, right? So that is something I love and hate about turn-based games. So what I did with Persona 4 Golden, because I was originally playing it on PS2, the original, and it's pretty hard. Most Persona games are pretty hard when played on a normal difficulty because
It's made to challenge you.
yeah, it encourages you to be challenged because that is what this character is a child. You know what I mean? So with 4, I was like, I just want to experience the story, which is what you should experience Persona 4 because you have 3 different things that you're juggling at the same time that you genuinely just want to enjoy yourself. So I put it on highest XP, highest currency, normal difficulty because the thing that makes those games take so long is grinding
and leveling up your character. Because with me doing that, what could have been 70 hours to get the true ending, which takes longer, it took about 60 hours, which still hefty when you've only played like Call of Duty campaign that lasts 6.5 hours.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Carter.
I'm cooler and I did it in 40.
So
I'm a
I haven't been
speedrunner,
playing
bro.
it since I was a fucking kid, so I didn't understand what the game was. That was me going in blind, not knowing what the fuck it was, and genuinely enjoying it. But with that difficulty slider and being able to customize that, I think it's the most beginner friendly. It's the shortest. It is the easiest story to get. It is so fucking stupid and easy to get that it makes it one of the most beginner
Also,
friendly.
side note, that's only on the PC one though.
That is
So
only on the
assuming you
PC
have a
one.
computer, you can change
That
and
has
make it
Windows 10.
super
Okay,
easy.
I didn't. I was.
You are running
Yeah.
a PS2 game on.
No,
your
it's not a mod. They
What
added
do
it to the game.
Oh, yeah.
Now I
Like,
should get one of
It's
those.
on
bro.
Steam.
Was it-
$19.99
was
no
it
tax.
was it this year or last year that they did that?
It was.
It was last year. It was 2 years ago.
2020. So
No,
no,
No, it was 2020. They released a PC
Oh, yeah, there
port
was-
of it because for a while it was only a PS Vita game, but PS Vita died and it's no one has it.
People own it.
7 people in the
I own
entire
it.
world.
I own
own
a
it.
Vita.
That's cool. I own one. I sold it because
a
I don't
Wi-Fi,
like it.
2 model.
But there's
PSP.
PS
goated.
Vita. Exactly.
PSP goated. That's
PSP
what I
goated.
mean. Patapon, bro.
But,
Right? Oh my god, I can talk about that forever.
We need to
But-
wrap up sometime soon. We've
so-
been going on for a good bit. What
Yeah,
time
I
is
know.
it right
We'll
now?
wrap this up.
Oh,
The time's
man.
at 1:16.
1:16. What time is it?
2:45.
2:45. Yeah, it's kind of.
It is 2:57.
Oh wow, really?
Why we got two
Damn,
different
that's
times?
pretty
Yeah,
late.
it's 2:56 for me.
Yeah.
But
All right. Yeah. So.
To be fair, we also were just sidetracking. So
All right, I was gonna say.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right,
All right.
yeah.
Can I?
All right. Yeah. So what kind of final points you got about? What do you got?
Oh, I just wanted to wrap up something because I didn't get
fucked
I didn't
up
get
the
to
microphone
explain
back.
kind of like how you did. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say
Explain
something
what?
about what game to get
What do you
into.
mean you
I
didn't
didn't
get to
say.
explain anything?
I didn't say. You talked about a whole difficulty. You
Waylon.
talked about a whole
what's
difficulty
your
slider.
point?
I was going to talk about 5 and the whole like how it relates to it. Someone like you who've never played a game like that. So 4 has
All right,
a
all right.
difficulty slider that does help you with
Persona
EXP
5,
and how to
I
gain
literally
that
come
stuff,
from a
right?
background of RPGs.
I played Earthbound. I played Mother 2. I mean, I played Mother 2,
I
Mother
played
3.
some RPGs, but I still am not good at them. I don't know the concept as an RPG. It may not be as captivating at times because it depends. I believe as a game, it has really good mechanics. It explains how things works to you in a way. It lets you know,
throughout the
hey, hang
entirety
out
of
with
Persona
this
5.
person. And there's
Which makes it irritating.
So
In turn.
to finish this entire thing, we really like Persona.
That's true.
Please play it.
I still haven't got an answer. 5 or 3.
I might.
Because you
So
said 5.
here's the answer. Here's the answer.
5 for easiest for me.
Pick
Because you're saying you're not biased on
pick
the you're picking.
pick 5 or 4, whichever one looks better to you. If you enjoy that one, play the one that you didn't get to play, and if you enjoy that one, play 3.
Okay, and now on
Pick 4 or
stories
5.
online, would it matter to play 5 and
They
then
are episodic.
It seems like
Play them whenever you want.
what-
Kind of.
No, shut up,
kind
because
of.
we're gonna start talking about side games. They
those
are
side games,
not the
main
same.
Storyline, do they attach? Yes or no?
Yes.
Not-
Yes, but not directly. Yes, but not
No,
directly.
no.
If it's not directly, then it doesn't.
No, like it's directly in the sense. Okay, P5. Okay,
No, no,
P4,
no,
you go back to the school.
no,
and P4, you go back to the school.
No, that is paying homage to it because it's been 8 years since the game came out. That's not the point. No, because they never say this is the school from Persona 3. Like it's kind of like
just
if
a
you
school.
played the game,
It's a
you'd be
school.
like, oh, that's where I
It's
was
a
before.
reference to-
It's a reference. It's not.
That's not. Yeah.
It's just kind of saying that's all in the same universe, but you don't need to play 3 to understand 4. They are all different.
Okay.
And like, they're side games that time together, but they're not important. So
If it's
Waylon's
just a building
tripping.
in a game, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it's
Waylon,
not-
come on. It's
No, I'm just listening. I got nothing to say.
Let me completely change that, right? I'm not going to make it long.
Listening
Music.
very
I
intently.
keep trying to talk about Persona music, right? Because that's the only reason I fucking play it. That is genuinely the biggest reason I play it. So,
Should I
because
make well, coming out of this, I should make a Persona remix, bro.
yeah.
it is what music do I want to deal with for 60 fucking hours?
See, now what if I just turn off my music?
If you turn
You're
off
playing
the
it wrong.
music, you're playing it wrong.
You're playing it wrong.
Persona is
I want to deal with the story. I don't listen to music.
You will.
Nigga, you need
the
to hear
music.
you need to hear the
Cut that.
Waylon's a white man.
It's not the
Waylon is
music.
a
The
white
music's
man.
never intrusive. The music will never be intrusive.
adds-
You'll get to a sad moment and it'll play a very somber in the background song that really heightens it.
If I'm walking, keep going.
It's not gonna be like, oh, your child died, and go like anime bullshit. Like it's not gonna be weird. And like in the battle theme, it's gonna be a theme. It's like, oh fuck, dude,
That
I'm about to
caters
murder these shadow.
exactly.
Yeah, it caters
exactly.
you.
3 has Mass Destruction, the most chaotic fucking song in the entire series.
But it happens
Even
in
the
battles.
lyrics fit. Even the lyrics fit.
Yeah, all
Even
of it
the
fits.
lyrics fit because it is fucking groovy, it is jazzy, it's fucking chaotic, and that's what 3 is. 3 is a chaotic
It's a
fucking
mess.
Okay, so without music, where are we going? Because I don't care about music.
You don't care about music, then I don't think. You
Then you're okay. Then
Yeah,
if
then
you're not playing it for the
No, you
music,
gotta
you're playing it for the
sell
story.
it on it. Sell them on it. Sell them on it.
what's
Sell 'em
Story
on
and
it.
characters.
Story and characters.
The
You got
story
characters.
and all of them are not the same, but for a blanket, I will say they kind of all follow the same idea, where there is a big overarching problem that is affecting everyone, and these are the only people that can fix it because they're able to see what are called shadows.
Okay.
The shadows generally are out to kill everybody and are led by whatever god that wants people to die is out there, and these kids have to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it, but they have to,
And the feed is different in every game.
and it's different every game.
And I'm not saying music doesn't matter, but that is just
Not everybody's gonna play for
sprinkle on
music.
top. That is good.
Oh no,
I'd
the
rather
music
have
is
good
just
music than shitty
the,
music.
the music is just really good. For an example, quick to wrap this up, Persona 3 main character has headphones on. What you don't know until like throughout the game, or if you read a guide on it, they actually tell you the whole soundtrack is through his ears. It's supposed to be immersive, and that's like his whole playlist. Like everything's on
Same
here.
playing on his iPod.
Yeah.
That is on his iPod. He has an iPod on his neck.
Oh, that's groovy, bro. So it's like the.
I thought it was self-explanatory. I mean, that's just something that I
never
wrapped up
figured
in
that
my-
out.
on
I
my own.
never knew that.
So, Peyton, what were you saying about Nocturne, bro?
Hey, bro, so
No, we gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up. We'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Super Monkey Ball.
I think we did a pretty good. I honestly think we did a pretty good podcast. That was GG's.
Pretty good first.
Pretty
It
solid.
was,
We need more structure.
yeah, we need some notes for next time for
Because I
sure.
kept trying
Oh,
to
I
talk
don't-
about
why am I-
music while you guys were debating,
I was just talking about 5.
and he was trying to say how 4 was better. That is a debate.
I'm talking about 5. I don't know about you, niggas. I'm
No,
talking
because
about
I
5.
can't. All I said was I'm jealous.
because 5 got the recognition.
It gets,
you wish
it gets
4
a
got.
lot of recognition. That's all I'm saying. But
And that
point is,
recognition is what 4 got.
let's
after.
actually like. I will do this at home tonight. Let's
Yeah.
just write notes for like how we're gonna base it and guide it because we are like. All
We can
over the
redo. We
place.
can just redo this. This is just a test. We can redo this whole thing.
We
No,
absolutely can.
no,
No, we absolutely
no.
can.
We're
And we
gonna do
absolutely should.
Yeah, we're
All
gonna
right.
redo it.
Do we want to do another episode about Persona? Because I
If we do
feel
another-
like
Yes.
If we do
Alright,
another
so
episode of Persona, y'all
it's
gotta
not-
wait until I finish 3 again. I'm gonna play 3.
All right, so this has been the unnamed podcast. We'll get to naming it, 30 episodes in, whenever we're nice and baked into it, like a
Like a casserole.
casserole,
gonna be
green
400
bean
episodes
with
in.
a
Oh, we got a
goddamn
name, guys.
croutons on top, crumbled over. That shit. Ooh.
But in the
nice and
meantime-
crispy on the sides. Go on.
I was gonna say, but in the meantime, you should let us know what your favorite Persona is and what you think.
Joker, arson. Yeah, there you go.
Anyways,
I play Smash, bro.
Yeah, shut up.
You-
Anyway, no, I'm talking about
you guys
everyone
are
else.
thinking
I'm
I'm
talking
gonna
about the
go
people.
through
I'm
and
talking
play
about the
Persona
people
4
watching.
after
I
this.
know what Persona is. I don't know. I was trying to help you.
Wiping the backyard.
I enjoy good conversations about games.
Fuck you.